Good afternoon and welcome to the COVID-19 update, a special edition on Channels Television. I'm Millicent Walker. It's a 30-minute daily update on the coronavirus pandemic in Nigeria and across the world. First, some of the highlights. Today, it's more lockdown as more states toughen measures to curb the spread of the coronavirus. We talked to a survivor of the COVID-19 in Nigeria on his isolation experience and cure. Today is Easter Monday and the war against COVID-19 is still on with the extension of the lockdown in most states. But statistics from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) shows clearly that there are more confirmed cases across 19 states and the Federal Capital Territory, the FCT. The total number in Nigeria now stands at 323. A breakdown of the cases in each of the states show that Lagos has 176 cases, Abuja 56, Osun 20, Edo State has 12 cases, Oyo 11 cases, 7 in Ogun State, Bauchi and Kaduna have 6 cases each, Akwa Ibom and Katsina 5 cases each, Kwara now has 4 cases, Delta 3 cases, while Enugu, Ekiti, Rivers and Ondo each have 2 cases, with Benue, Niger, Anambra and Kano recording 1 case each. The total number of discharged COVID-19 patients in Nigeria is 85 and 10 deaths have been recorded. Most states in Nigeria continue precautionary measures, even while some record the COVID-19 cases. Others who are COVID-19 free are putting stricter measures in place. We begin in Cross River State, where in line with one of Governor Ben Ayade's executive order on COVID-19 response to deliver free food to the vulnerable across the state, his wife, Dr. Linda Ayade, donated food items ranging from yam, gari, tomatoes, and many others to be distributed in the coming days to indigent families across the 18 local government areas using a register that contains details of those that fall into the category. Also donated to the state's food bank are a truckload of food items by groups and organizations to stock for onward distribution. Elsewhere in Edo State, the government has commenced distribution of over 90,000 food packs to vulnerable persons across the state, including orphans, Libya returnees, the homeless, among others. This program is expected to mitigate the economic effects of the restrictions imposed by the state government. The Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Mr. Monday Osabovo, who was speaking at the government's food bank, the South Senatorial District in Benin City, also promised that a committee is in place to ensure items get to the right persons. Now, following the ban on Easter Sunday services in Benue State, the government began the distribution of over 30,000 hand sanitizers, infrared thermometers, protective wears to the 23 local councils to curb the spread of COVID-19. Presenting the deliveries for Benue South Senatorial District for the 9 local councils in Otukpo, the Commissioner for Health is challenging local government administrators to complement government's efforts at sensitizing the people on social distancing, personal hygiene, and to avoid large gatherings for now. Let's head over to Sokoto State, where the Special Task Force against the spread of COVID-19 has promised to liaise with the relevant security agencies to beef up security at the border post between Nigeria and Niger Republic to guard against the spread of the virus to border communities. It's in continuation of the efforts to curtailing the spread. Efforts are also ongoing by authorities in Sokoto to ensure compliance to measures taken against the virus spread in the state. And over to Imo State, where the governor, Hope Uzodinma, says the result of his COVID-19 test has come out negative. The governor disclosed this via his Facebook page this morning. He says with the results showing he's free of the virus, his government will continue to do everything humanly possible to stop the pandemic from finding its way into the state. He's urging all Imo indigents to continue to observe all the precautionary measures put in place by the state government this period. Well, let's take a break now. Still to come, imported cases have been China's focus for several weeks now. Its main threat, people bringing the virus back to the country. We have details in a moment. Welcome. It's our COVID-19 update, a special edition on Channels Television. Joining us right now for more of the measures to curbing the pandemic is Dr. Olawale Oladubu. He is a member, Healthcare Providers Association of Nigeria. Thank you for joining us at this time.
Thank you very much for having me.
First, I'd like to ask you, you were here, you listened to the account of Mr. Adedeji, his experience, being asymptomatic, going to the isolation center. What struck you with some of the things that he said?
Okay, first and foremost, let me empathize with Mr. Kazim and many other victims that are still undergoing treatment. Let me also sympathize with those who have lost loved ones, to this pandemic, world over. As for him, I want to salute the courage of Mr. Kazim and then also appreciate his initiative, to take that step, despite the fact that he was asymptomatic, but he still took that step to make sure that he was tested, and you can imagine the ripple effect if he had not taken that, you understand? And just like he said, he had domestic staffs working with him, he had other relatives, and I guess it's also somebody who meets a lot of people on a daily basis. So if he had not taken that step, then you can imagine the kind of exponential effect that will have had on the society.
Yeah, especially his immediate surrounding as well.
Yeah,
but it's also strange that, being asymptomatic, he said, headaches. And he also mentioned a number of other symptoms for other people as well, like sore throat. And these are some of the things we've spoken about. But it's also strange to see that now that he's even recovered, people are afraid. That stigma is still there.
Yes. Well, I think the government and then NGOs still have a lot of work to do in that respect, to orientate people and then to make them be conscious of the fact that they don't have to stigmatize people. Do you understand? Especially those who have been victims and who have been treated and they have gotten well. So because that is one thing that may also make people not to hesitate, to getting themselves tested. When they think of what people will say about them, how people will feel about them, and all of that. So they are not just different from anybody. Anyone who has tested negative should be fully integrated and well accepted into the society.
But the question is how much sensitization, because we also have some persons who are mature, who are learned, who are supposed to know better, but they're even avoiding giving necessary information on their status.
Yeah. So well, at this point in time, I think the normal IEC materials, normal communication means, the media, outdoor materials, billboards, and things like that. And then opinion leaders too, they can also be conscientized, and then they can tell people around them, So the more we talk about it, the more people begin to imbibe that culture of accepting others.
So looking at fact or fiction, exactly what's the length of time the virus can live outside the host body? Maybe like on the surface?
On the surface, depending if it's in the air, maybe like 3 minutes. On the surface, like 8 minutes, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I'd like to thank you,
Yes,
Dr.
right.
Olawale Oladubu.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us at this time.
Thank you for having me. Yes.
Let's go over to Anambra State, where the sensitization against the spread of the novel coronavirus has taken a heightened dimension since the news broke of a confirmed case in the state. Now, during his Easter message, the governor, Willie Obiano, enjoined all men and women of goodwill to use the occasion of the Easter celebration to show love to the vulnerable and downtrodden in society. He shared hopes that the present challenge of COVID-19 pandemic will soon be surmounted if only everyone adheres to all directives. Our correspondent Joy Odiye has this update.
The atmosphere has been subdued in Anambra State ever since the COVID-19 index case was confirmed. But that is not to say that certain proactive measures have not been put in place by the state government to prevent the spread of the virus. Immediately the news was received, Governor Willie Obiano made a statewide broadcast to extend the lockdown of the state by 2 weeks.
Now that we have the first recorded incident in Anambra State, our fight against coronavirus has just started. All hands must be on deck to stamp out the pandemic out of our beloved state. In Anambra, I have no doubt that if we all work together, we shall win this race together.
Security agencies are everywhere trying to enforce the stay-at-home order of the governor. From the flyover axis of Kwata in Awka, the Anambra State capital, Joy Odinye, Channels Television News.
Now, China reported its highest number of new coronavirus cases in nearly 6 weeks after, with the majority involving people returning from other countries. On Sunday, the National Health Commission reported 108 new infections, surpassing Saturday's 99, which was nearly double the 46 reported on Friday. Globally, more than 1.8 million people have been infected and over 114,000 people have died. With protecting the health of Nigerians, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control's website, NCDC, has all the information, statistics, cases across states in the country. It has regular updates on the COVID-19 regulations and several guidelines on how to efficiently self-isolate and what it means by social distancing. You can access all of that. The World Health Organization website also has live updates on the pandemic, and indeed you can take a closer look at some of the numbers in real time. That's our COVID-19 update on Channels Television. Thank you for watching. Another update comes your way at 6 p.m. In the meantime, we'd like to hear from you. It's still Easter and the holiday. Tell us what it is that you're doing. Tweet at us at Channels TV. I'm Millicent Walker. Bye for now.